Never start a debt call by promising to pay everything. Start by deciding what you can live with and make them meet you there. Here's what they don't tell you: the person on the other end cares more about getting something today than chasing everything forever. If you're staring at a credit card balance that keeps growing and you feel that tight knot in your chest every time your phone rings, breathe. You can negotiate a settlement yourself. In the next few minutes, I'm going to talk you through it in plain English. You'll learn how to figure out your real number, when to call, what to say, what to ask for in writing, how to pay safely, and how to protect your credit and your sanity. Stay with me until the end, and you'll have a simple script you can read word for word, plus a tiny game plan you can start tonight. First, let's make sure we're talking about the same thing. A debt settlement is a deal where the creditor or collector agrees to accept less than the full amount you owe as a one-time or short series of payments. And, in return, they treat the account as resolved. That's different from a hardship plan, which is when they lower your interest or payment for a while, but the full balance remains. And it's different from consolidation, which is rolling debts into a new loan. Settlement hits your credit because it shows as settled or paid for less than the full balance. And if a portion is forgiven, you might owe taxes on the part they cancel. That's the trade. Damage now to stop the bleeding and move forward. I'm not your lawyer or tax pro, so treat this as education and check your local rules if anything sounds fuzzy. Now, your power in a settlement comes from preparation. Grab a notebook and write 3 things: the total you're being asked for, the last time you made a payment, and the lowest lump sum you could realistically put together in the next 30 to 60 days without skipping rent or food. Be honest. If your real number is 800, don't tell yourself it's 2,000. The right offer is the one you can actually send. Next, decide what matters to you besides the dollar amount. Do you need them to stop calling? Do you need a letter that says the account will be reported as settled? Do you need a payment schedule instead of a lump sum? Knowing your non-negotiables before you dial makes the call calmer. Timing matters more than people admit. If your account is brand new and current, settlement is less likely and hardship options are more common. If you're a few months behind, the original lender may be ready to talk numbers to avoid sending it to collections. If it's already with a collector or charged off, you're often speaking to someone who only gets paid when dollars move, which means they can be flexible. You don't have to wait for a perfect day. You do want a quiet room, a full battery, and enough time to sit in silence while they tap their keyboard. And yes, silence is a tool. Say your offer, then zip it. Let them respond first. Before you call, protect yourself. If a third-party collector is involved, you can ask them to send you a written notice that shows the original creditor, the amount, and your right to dispute. If the debt is very old, learn your state's statute of limitations for lawsuits on credit card debts. Making a small payment on a time-barred debt can sometimes restart the clock in certain places. So, if you're near that line, speak to a consumer attorney or a nonprofit credit counselor before you do anything. If it's not time-barred and it's yours, and you're ready to settle, go in clear and calm. Here's the part everyone overthinks: what to say. Keep it simple and human. Start with your name, the last 4 digits of the account, and a short sentence that shows you're trying to resolve it today. Explain briefly what changed: hours cut, medical bills, a move, then pivot to your number. If you can pay a lump sum, lead with that. A clean lump is more attractive than a long plan. If you can't do a lump sum, offer 2 or 3 payments with exact dates. Don't apologize for not having more. Just be steady. After you make the offer, ask for 2 things: that they send you a settlement letter before any money moves, and that the letter states that the payment will satisfy the account, and they will update the credit bureaus to show it's settled. If they start pushing back, breathe and repeat your number and your dates. It's not rude to hold your ground. It's part of the dance. Maybe you're wondering what number to start with. There isn't a magic percentage that works everywhere, and anyone who says there is selling you something. What you can control is your floor and your pacing. Start lower than your true ceiling so you have room to move, but not so low that they hang up. If the balance is huge and your number is small, anchor with certainty and speed. I can pay X by Friday if we have an agreement in writing today. Be prepared for counteroffers, and don't be scared by the first one. They're trained to read a higher line from the screen. You're trained, now, to only agree to what you can do. If they push you to pay by direct debit from your bank, you can say you'll send a cashier's check or pay through a secure online portal once you have the letter. You control the method. The letter is everything. Without a letter, you don't have a deal. You have a phone call that no one else can see. The letter should say your name, the account number, the exact dollar amount, the date or dates of payment, and clear language that the payment satisfies the account and that they will update their reporting. If they promise to stop collection calls, have that in there too. If they say, we'll see what we can do on your credit report, that's not a promise. Push for plain words. Read the letter twice before you pay. Keep a copy in a safe place. When it's time to pay, use a method that leaves a paper trail. A cashier's check with the account number in the memo, a money order you can track, or an online portal where you can print a receipt is fine. Avoid handing over the keys to your checking account if you don't trust the process. If you're doing installments, mark every date on your calendar and plan for the unexpected so you don't miss by a day. One missed installment can void the agreement. If life happens, call before the due date and ask to adjust. People on the other end are human, and notice shows good faith. After payment, don't just exhale and move on. 30 to 45 days later, pull your credit reports and check that the account shows the new status. Save your settlement letter and your receipts in the same folder. If you receive a tax form for canceled debt at the end of the year, that's normal. Sometimes forgiven debt is considered income. It doesn't mean you did something wrong. It means you may need to talk to a tax pro to see if you qualify for an exclusion. Keep your paperwork, because paperwork is your shield. Let's talk about the mental side, because debt lives in your head rent-free if you let it. Collectors can be pushy. You are allowed to set boundaries. If a third-party collector is calling you at crazy hours, you can tell them to contact you in writing only. If anyone threatens you with things that don't make sense or refuses to send details, hang up and call back using a number on an official statement, so you know who you're dealing with. You can be firm and kind at the same time. You can also ask for names and note the time of every call in your notebook. The act of writing things down puts you back in charge. There are a few traps to avoid. Don't agree to a number just to get off the phone if you know you can't pay it. A broken agreement is worse than no agreement. Don't send money without a letter, no matter how friendly the person sounds. Don't drain rent or food money to make a deal. You're trying to rebuild, not swap one panic for another. And don't pay a company big upfront fees to settle for you, unless you understand exactly what they do, what they charge, and how long they'll ask you to stop paying while they build an offer. Many people can do this on their own with patience and a plan. Think about what happens after the settlement, too. This isn't just about closing one painful tab. It's about building a small buffer so you never have to do this dance again. Set up a bare bones emergency fund, even if it's $10 a week at first. Call your remaining cards and ask for hardship interest rates while you stabilize. If your budget feels like a puzzle with missing pieces, a nonprofit credit counselor can look at your whole picture for free or very low cost and help you plan. You're not weak for asking. You're smart for using tools that already exist. Here's the truth I want you to carry into your call. You're not begging for mercy. You're offering a business deal that helps both sides move on. You're a person who hit a wall and decided to handle it. The person on the line has heard 1,000 stories. They can tell when someone is serious. Serious sounds like numbers, dates, and calm breathing. Serious sounds like, please email the agreement to this address, and I'll confirm when I receive it. Serious sounds like silence after you make your offer, because you're not trying to fill the space with nervous chatter. If you've made it this far, you already took back some control. Tonight, write down your real number and your best date. Tomorrow, make the call from a quiet place. Use the short script. Ask for the letter. Pay the way that keeps you safe. Save your papers. Check your reports. Then do something small that makes you feel human again, like a walk or a good meal. Debt shrinks when you face it. You can do this without a middleman and without a magic wand, just with clear words and a plan you can keep.